You really thought that you were gonna watch the reunion live, right? Well, guess again. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael and I am here to review season 4 of Love is Blind, the reunion that's supposed to be live, but not really, but not really. The premise of the reunion was supposed to be that it's being filmed live, right? In real time. This new feature that Netflix is trying to do and doing it really badly. So I'm thinking, I don't know about this, because so many things could go wrong. And that's exactly what ended up happening because the reunion, it was supposed to go live at 8 o'clock at night on Sunday. So Sunday came around, it's 7:59. I'm sitting in front of my laptop like, okay, we're about to see who's still together, who's not together. We might see Josh, Jackie, Irina, and Micah get dragged. Let's tune in. So 8 o'clock came, I'm sitting in front of my laptop like, okay, give it a couple of seconds. It's live. It might be something technical. Let's just tune in. Okay. 30 seconds, relax. Okay, a minute. Okay, let me refresh. Okay, it's been 2 minutes. Okay, they're pushing it. Let me refresh. Okay, what's going on with the Wi-Fi? All I see is Nick and Vanessa Lachey in the promo picture looking back at me like, I'm like, can you two go away? I'm trying to tune in. So of course, my world starts falling apart. So what do I do in such severe cases? I go on Twitter to see if everybody else's world is also falling apart. So I click on the hashtag Love is Blind. And to my surprise, everybody else is also freaking out like, wait, what's going on? What's happening? Where's the live stream? It's 8 o'clock. So I'm thinking, okay, it's not just me, it's you, Netflix. Like a bad relationship. It's not me, it's you. You caused all of this between us. And then Netflix had the audacity to tweet something after like 15 minutes thinking that it's cute. Oh, sometimes love is late. I'm thinking Netflix right now is not the time to get poetic, okay? Although I did like it though. I thought it was catchy. So then I believe after like 30 minutes, this is where it got ugly online because everybody, including me, started dragging Netflix, the show, some of the contestants, specifically Micah and her toxic friend, Shelby, I believe her name is. I promise you all, I was probably laughing for maybe 10 to 15 minutes straight with tears coming down my eyes because some of the tweets and the posts that I was seeing, there was one that said, oh, maybe the lady that fixed Brett's pants on his wedding day could fix this. The other one said that maybe Jackie was in the back, messing up the Wi-Fi because she was pulling out a bunch of wires. Like these tweets were crazy. And then on top of that, besides the audience, these other big brands were also being shady towards Netflix. Blockbuster. So if you don't know what Blockbuster is, it's this place that you go in the early 2000s. You went in to rent out a movie, VHS, DVD, game, whatever, and you had a certain amount of time to watch it and then bring it back. Netflix basically was the reason why their downfall happened because Netflix, now you just get it from home. You don't have to go to a specific place to rent out a movie. So Blockbuster, they came back from the dead just to be shady towards Netflix by saying, oh, maybe you should also go back to just renting out movies. That obviously worked for you to begin with, unlike what you're doing now. I'm like, damn, Blockbuster, it's like that now? And then Bravo, the network that the Real Housewives come on, they tweeted saying, oh, well, we wouldn't keep you waiting for a reunion. And I'm like, wow, Bravo, you're feeling real bold, huh? But they were feeling a little bit too bold, though, because it backfired on them. And people started questioning them like, no, that's a lie. Where's the reunion to the Real Housewives of New York from this past season? Because they never had one, so obviously that's a lie. But then we see Hulu was also tweeting some shady mess. And then the Cheesecake Factory, their company had posted something saying, oh, by the time they get their reunion running, you could have ate everything off of our menu. It was just a mess. I'm telling you, it was a bloodbath on Twitter. But, then the conspiracy theories jumped out of me because I started thinking, is it a technical issue or did something else happen behind the scenes? Something scandalous, something like drama? Because I kept thinking that the second that this live starts working, we're gonna see the entire cast sitting there on the couch. Paul, he's gonna be sitting there with his shirt unbuttoned, all ripped up and torn, with a black eye. Irina, she's gonna be sitting there on the floor with a bloody nose. Micah, her hair is gonna be all messed up. Zach, his hair is gonna be messed up. He's also gonna have a bloody lip. Like, I just kept thinking that the cast got into a huge bloody brawl, and that's probably why they couldn't show that to us. But eventually, after like maybe 84 years, the lives started working, but not for me. I know, I wasn't the chosen one. I kept refreshing and I'm like, wow, everybody else is watching and, not me. So what did I do? I had to resort to watching it on TikTok. But where there's a will, there's a way, right? So I got onto TikTok. I started searching up like, Love is Blind Live. And luckily somebody was actually watching it, even though they were kind of pissing me off. Like I was grateful that they were actually, streaming it. But at the same time, they kept talking. And then people in the comments were like, can you shut the fuck up? So disrespectful. Like this person is doing us a favor by showing this to us. They don't have to do this. Yet they were telling her, can you shut up? Can you be quiet? Stop talking. Can you turn the phone around? Like so demanding. And then on top of that, they kept making like a chewing noise. I cannot stand hearing people chew, but I'm like, no, it's okay. You just suffer through this. You need to watch this reunion. Eventually, after a night of struggle, I finally watched the reunion. And we started off with the two hosts, Nick and Vanessa Lachey. They're sitting in the middle with the cast surrounding them. Vanessa, she starts off with her monologue by saying, oh, love is blind, blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the good stuff. So Brett and Tiffany, how are both of you? Are both of you still together? And yes, they're still together. I was nervous because on these shows, it's very unpredictable. You just never know. The whole entire season, you could love the other person and then you get to the reunion and then you hate each other. But no, that's not the case for both of them. Both of them are still madly in love with each other and they're still happy. And that's great to see. It's good that we start this whole reunion at a positive high because then we slowly get to a toxic low. The trailer really had me worried though. When we got to the last episode when Brett was like, oh, this should not be happening right now. This needs to be fixed. I'm thinking, oh no, they actually are not going to go through with it. Come to find out he was only talking about his pants. So Netflix, good with the shady editing. The only thing that was annoying was that Vanessa gave them maybe 2, maybe at most 5 minutes of conversation and camera time, and that was it before she jumped to the next couple. It was like they were too positive for her. Like, yeah, both of you already got the magic love story. Okay, this is too good. We need some toxicness and some drama. So Chelsea and Kwame, how are both of you? Like she literally just told them like, oh, okay. Yeah, oh, both of you are good? Okay. Oh, you love her? Oh, she loves you too? Oh, you have a nice life? Oh, that's nice. You see, Nick Lachey, we should be like them. Which, by the way, side note, I don't really know too much about Vanessa or Nick Lachey's relationship, but I wonder if it's as squeaky clean as they portray it to be in front of the cameras behind the scenes, because I could definitely see, as soon as the cameras are down, I could see Vanessa looking at Nick like, so who's this bitch that was texting you last night at midnight? Who is she? But that's a whole different conversation, I guess. But they move over to Kwame and Chelsea, and I'm thinking they're about to tell them, we tried this whole marriage thing between us, but we actually figured out that we're better off as friends. We don't really have too much in common, but to my surprise, they're still allegedly happily married and together. And I'm like, what? Because it showed the complete opposite the entire season, at least coming from Kwame. Chelsea, she's a whole different story. She was in love with him the second that he said hi to her. And I feel like he only said yes to her at the altar because he didn't want to embarrass her in front of all her loved ones. And he probably thought, wow, this woman is really in love with me. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe things will change down the road with me emotionally towards her, and maybe I'll feel what she feels towards me down the road when we move in together and give it some time. Because Chelsea, it was so painful to see you just throw yourself at Kwame every other episode. She'll be like, oh, Kwame, I love you. Don't you think I'm beautiful? Don't you think I'm cute? Look, I'm your new wife. And what will Kwame do? He'll just look at her like, I mean, yeah, you're beautiful. I mean, you're kind of cute. I mean, you're okay. Like, it was never genuine. Like, what? And she still agreed? Like, that is crazy. But Kwame also lets us know that he was intending on breaking up with Micah first in the pods. And I'm like, now who are you fooling, Kwame? We all saw how devastated you were in the pods when Micah chose Paul over you and you were crying and boo-hooing. On top of that, he says, oh, by the way, I still have the breakup letter that I was going to read to her to this very day. And I'm like, you mean the breakup letter that you just wrote 5 minutes ago in the back? Like, I don't believe that. We all saw how madly in love, and he probably still is, allegedly, towards Micah, especially in Mexico when they were both sitting by the pool and Chelsea was watching from a distance with her binocular glasses, and he was just gushing and blushing and goo goo gagaing over everything that Micah was saying to him. But now, all of a sudden, he was gonna break up with her to begin with? Okay, Kwame, convince yourself. And then Chelsea, on top of that, on top of all these lies, she sprinkles more lies by saying, oh, well, I actually met Kwame's mother on Thanksgiving. And I'm like, you met whose mother on Thanksgiving? You might have met somebody's mother, but it definitely wasn't Kwame's mother. Like, I just don't believe that either, especially the way she was supposedly being on the show. Like, oh, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this. I'm not down with this. Now, all of a sudden, she is willing to meet you on Thanksgiving. Sure, Chelsea and Kwame, sure. But, that's just me. Then we have Zach and Bliss. And surprisingly, but not surprised, they're still together. And this is just me. But if I was Bliss, there's just no way that I would be anybody's second choice on this show. Just because your first choice, Irina, was treating you badly and you didn't really get the love that you wanted out of that relationship, now you want to come crawling back to me? Now you want to take your chance with me? Now you want to see if the grass is much greener and tastier on this side instead of that side? Absolutely not. I can't imagine laying in bed with somebody and thinking, what would have happened if things would have worked out with their first choice? They both would have ran off to the sunset together and have their little love story. And what would have happened to Bliss? She would end up by herself with nobody on this show like how it was originally intended for before Zach came crawling back to her. But let me know if you all think differently. And speaking of crawling back, we see Irina. She's managed to slither her way onto this stage and you could just tell that Vanessa does not like her. And you could tell that Vanessa, her whole vibe, this entire reunion was very off. Like she was at a 10 the entire time. It's like she wanted to pick a fight with somebody. It's almost like she took like 3 whiskey shots in the back before she came out to host. And then when she came out, she said, okay, I'm ready for this reunion and I'm ready to fight anybody. She looks at Irina. Irina, she does look nice. I'll give her that. She tells Irina, so how does it feel to be a cold-hearted bitch the entire season? I love your dress, by the way, but tell me how you feel. I'm like, damn, Vanessa, please tell me how you really feel about her. But before that, Zach and Bliss, they talk about their love. And Zach, he tells Vanessa, I really love Bliss a lot and she really loves me. And I appreciate this whole experience because it shows that sometimes our first choice is not our best choice. And I appreciate my second choice with Bliss. And I'm glad that me and her love each other a lot and we're willing to make this work. She's very trustworthy and she's very nice to me. And I sing to her every single night. I actually have a country album coming out at the end of the year. So then Irina wants to explain her behavior towards Zach, and already with the theatrics, you could tell that she took like 2 or 3 acting classes right before the reunion, right before she went on stage actually. So she starts off by saying, hold on, give me a moment. So then the second that she says that, the crowd started laughing at her. But she couldn't go off script from what her publicist told her. So she said, let me continue. So Zach, I'm so sorry for everything that, give me 1 second, Vanessa. Hold on, Zach. I'm so sorry for everything that I put you through. And then continue crying, continue crying, continue crying. I'm so sorry. I'm so happy for you and Bliss. Okay. I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry, Zach, for everything I've done for you. I'm really happy for you and Bliss. I love that both of you love each other. And, it's truly, it makes me happy seeing both of you so happy. And, I will still choose you to this very day. There's a reason why I chose you because you're so perfect, and I'm truly sorry. And I'm looking at her like, is anybody buying this? Because I'm not. Now she wants to cry about her trash-ass behavior, but in the moment, she was completely fine with belittling Zach, making him feel less than, possibly hurting his feelings, and you had no remorse then, right? Interesting. So then Vanessa, like I said, she wanted to fight. So she tells Irina, it's so funny because remind me that you were bullied because of your acne scars, right? And I'm like, wow, Vanessa, way to make her relive that again. But she continues, it's so funny that you don't want people bullying you because of that. But you were so quick to bully Zach over a bunch of other things. Isn't it so funny? Why would you do that? And I'm like, wow, Vanessa. Could have swore that she just kind of explained herself with that, but okay. So Zach, it was his turn, and You know, I know that Bliss probably gave him a whole script backstage, like, you need to tell her this, this, and this, or else we're gonna get a divorce. Because he finished her. He tells Irina, you know, I mean, I guess I accept your apology or whatever, but you know what? Honestly, I feel like you came onto the show. Hold on, babe. Babe, listen. This is what you told me to tell her last night. I feel like you came onto the show because you wanted to be famous. Yeah. You like that, Bliss? Irina was just like, huh? It's true, but huh? Everybody was shocked. And you know, honestly, I feel like Zach would have probably went a little bit deeper with her if it wasn't for Bliss. I feel like Bliss was probably whispering to him like, okay, honey, that's enough. You're going off script. And if fame is what she wanted, then technically she got it, but just not in the way that she probably expected it to be, because she came off the show looking like a villain, and not even a cool villain either, like Maleficent, Ursula the Sea Witch, Harley Quinn, the Joker. No, she came off looking like one of those villains who you see on a TV show for one episode for 2 seconds, and then we never see them again. So good luck with your new fame, Irina, and your new, you know, Hollywood career. Then they asked Micah how did she feel about Paul telling her no at the altar. She starts crying as well. I'm like, oh boy, it's already bad enough we have one bad actress. Now we have 2. So she starts crying, and after maybe 10, 15 minutes, then she finally responds. And she tells them, you know, I was really caught off guard. I was blindsided. I actually thought me and him had a thing. I was gonna say yes to him. And speaking of Micah, I feel like Shelby, her toxic friend that was laughing at her at the altar while she was crying, I feel like she should have also been at this reunion. Could you imagine what Vanessa would have told her? So then they asked Paul about his experience in turning down Micah, and Paul is cool, but his voice is so monotone. So he goes on to say, you know, this whole experience was really eye-opening. I feel like I really did love Micah at one point, but I feel like we weren't really growing as a couple, and I didn't really know that I was gonna say no until the altar. You know, that's when I really opened up my eyes, and I realized that there wasn't no future between me and Micah. And I'm like, why was this live in the first place? Like, this whole reunion could have been edited down to like maybe 30, 20 minutes, maybe even 10. But then Vanessa, she wants to be messy, and she tells them, well, there's a video of you and Micah's friend going around online right now. And as soon as she said that, I knew what video she was talking about. The one where he's exiting the room, and as he's leaving, it looks like he's slapping her friend on the ass, and her friend is like, ooh. And honestly, I've seen the video like maybe 200 to 300 times. And the whole video looks very suspicious. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past either one of them, honestly. One being that Micah's friends, they're all trash. I mean, look how they were laughing at her at the altar or when they first met Paul. And as for Paul, I mean, you know, men are still trash in 2023, so there's that. But then they both get into it because Paul had told Micah that he can't really picture her being a mother because of how she is. And I mean, I could see how that could be extremely hurtful. She starts crying again. But at the same time, if both of you are married, and if both of you eventually want to have kids, Paul has to take your actions and who you are as a person into consideration, the same way that you could probably not see Paul being a father figure in the future. But of course, Vanessa, she wants to be messy, and you know she wants drama. So she tells Paul, Paul, you know, that's cute and all, but you know, I just thought that you said that Micah and your mom were kind of like twins. What happened with that? And I'm like, Vanessa, can you just let them be? Like, obviously they're never going to be a thing. Just let it go. But Paul, he tells her, I never said that. I simply just said that they both kind of just look alike, but personality-wise, they're 2 completely different people. So Vanessa is looking at Paul and Micah like, okay, so these 2 are not going to give me any more drama. So let's move on to the next topic. Marshall, let's talk about Jackie and Josh. And surprise, surprise, Jackie or Josh are not there. But we do get a 2-on-1 virtual session between Vanessa and both of them, who are in their new home. They now live together. They've been together for a year. And Jackie was holding on to Josh as if Vanessa herself was gonna come through the computer and snatch him up. I mean, she was literally like this, like they were squeezed together. She was gripping his arm like, oh, I love you, babe. I love you so much. Like, that is that toxic love. They give us an update on their relationship and how they've been together for a year now. They live together and they have a dog and a goldfish. I'm like, wow, Jackie, on the show, she wanted Marshall to be more aggressive. And I feel like what she means by that is that she wanted a toxic relationship. She wanted somebody that will break up with her, make her cry every other weekend. And then 2 seconds later, oh, baby, I'm sorry. I'm going to change. I won't cheat on you, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like that's what she's going to get with Josh. Honestly, Josh was a red flag the second that I saw his earring and he had a little cross hanging from it. Never trust a man with a cross earring. I know if you look back at one of my previous videos, you see that I'm wearing one, but obviously I don't wear that anymore. Meanwhile, Vanessa is coming off as if she's team Josh and Jackie. She's telling Jackie, so Jackie, tell me more about you and Josh's relationship. Both of you look so cute together. What was the last straw for you and that loser Marshall? I can't stand him. Honestly, it was Nick who casted him. But tell me more about your relationship. And I'm like, Vanessa, can we come off a little bit more unbiased here? Like you're a host. But Jackie, she tells her, honestly, the very last straw for me was when Marshall, he made a comment about me. It was a joke. It was a derogatory term. And I didn't appreciate that. On top of that, Vanessa, she knows exactly what she said about Marshall, yet she never once questioned him like, okay, yeah, he may have said this to you, but why did you say so-and-so and so-and-so about Marshall? I'm pretty sure that Vanessa was very clear on the text messages that leaked online about Jackie saying that, he was this and that and blah, 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 alluding that he was gay, but yet nothing. But okay, so then Jackie, she also lets us know that she still has the ring a year later, the one that she didn't give Marshall back. And I'm like, for what? I honestly thought that she took it from him because she was gonna pawn it and go on a shopping spree. But here she is a year later doing what with it? Like memories, like like a trophy or something. Like at this point, the value probably went down. So even if you do pawn it, it's probably gonna be less its value. But she says that she didn't give it back because Marshall was going to use it to propose to another cast member. Her name was Keisha, I believe. And I'm like, okay, so what's it for you? Like, what does it matter to you though? Like what he does with the ring? Like if you're so in love with Josh, it shouldn't matter, right? If your love is so true and real, but regardless whether the love is true between both of them or whatever, it doesn't really matter. I feel like Josh's whole motive with this whole show was, oh, I want to be the better man. My pride and my ego can't stand that another man took my woman. That's the way I feel like he sees things, but who knows? So then we head back over to the reunion. Marshall, Vanessa is upset with him. Like she's so mad. Like, so Marshall, what's going on with Jackie? Like what happened? Like, what happened? And I'm like, Vanessa, you were so sweet and loving to both Jackie and Josh, but Marshall, she just really had it in for him. Marshall was just like, well, I really don't care about this anymore. I just want to call it a truce. It is what it is. And then he also does mention how, Jackie was alluding that he was sweet and, using terms like that, alluding that he was gay. But he also messed up by saying, oh, well, I could mistake you as a man because of your jawline that is so sharp or whatever. He never once said, though, that he used a derogatory term the way Jackie was alluding to. So I was just so confused as to why Vanessa never questioned Jackie about that. But you're over here asking Marshall, so what did you say about her? Like she is so eager to know, but it was never a two-way street. Both Jackie and Marshall are trash though for even joking around like that and trying to one-up each other. At least with Marshall, he says that the second that it came out of his mouth, he knew that he was wrong, he knew he messed up, and moving forward, he won't talk like that again. And that I can appreciate. But with Jackie, we'll never get that conversation because Vanessa, I don't know where her notes were when, she had the chance to hold her accountable for her words, but that was that, then we get a little montage of everybody's living situation, or at least the couples that are still together. And, honestly, all we really care about is Brett and Tiffany and how they're still, together perfectly. Everybody else. Anyways, so that was the reunion. The reunion was reunioning. I just didn't really think that it had to be live. Let's not do that again. Let's cut the episode down to like maybe 40, 30, 15 minutes at most. And then did y'all see the trailer at the very end where they announced the ultimatum, Queer Love? And that show just looks crazy just by the trailer itself. And if you think that the Love is Blind show is crazy, the ultimatum is something completely different. I mean, if you haven't watched, I suggest you go watch the first season because every episode had me like... But let me know what you thought about this whole entire show, this entire season, this whole reunion, the couples, the dynamics, everybody who's single, the host. Let me know what you thought about it all down in the comments. Bye, everybody. Mwah.